Hey kids, on December 19th, 2025, three old guys in suits, sitting in a Delaware courtroom, looked at a legal document and said, "Yeah, so we're taking away $139 billion from this one guy." $139 billion? That is not a salary, that is enough money to buy every single human being in the state of Ohio a brand new jet ski and still have enough left over to bribe the ocean to stop having waves. The Supreme Court handed it back to him, gave the guy who sued a single $1 bill as damages, and Elon Musk's net worth shot back up towards $700 billion. $700 billion. Now, if your brain is currently leaking out of your ear trying to comprehend that number, welcome to the unhinged economic circus of Elon Musk. But here's the thing, being worth almost $1 trillion isn't a fun party where you eat caviar off a gold jet. It is a 24/7 operational nightmare. So put down your juice box and lean in, because today we're looking at the actual raw bizarre math of the world's richest man. So first off, let's kill the biggest myth on the internet, liquid cash. When news headlines scream,
Elon Musk made $30 billion today,
people picture Elon walking into a bank vault like Scrooge McDuck, diving headfirst into a pool of gold coins and shattering his collarbone. Because gold is a solid metal, in reality, Elon has almost zero liquid cash. Virtually every single dollar of his $680 billion is locked up in stock for Tesla and SpaceX, and he cannot just sell those shares to buy a burger. Why? Because if Elon sells even 5% of his Tesla stock, Wall Street panics, investors scream, the stock price dumps by 30%, and he accidentally deletes $100 billion of his own net worth in 20 minutes. So how does he buy stuff? Margin loans. He goes to a bank, hands them his Tesla shares like a pawn shop, and goes, "Hey homie, hold on to these shares and give me $500 million in cash." And the bank goes,
"Sure thing, Chief."
It's a great loop until Tesla stock drops. Because if the stock dips, the bank doesn't send a nice email. They hit him with a margin call, which means give us $500 million in real money by 4 p.m. or we take your shares and sell them to a guy named Dave. It's corporate loan sharking, except instead of a guy named Vinny with a baseball bat, it's a guy named Tarquin in a Patagonia vest, who went to Yale. Now, let's talk about the most insane corporate pay package in human history. Back in 2018, Tesla's board sat down with Elon and said, "Alright, we're not paying you a salary, $0. But if you somehow grow Tesla from a $50 billion company to a $650 billion company, a 1,200% increase, you get massive stock options. If you fail, you get squat." Every Wall Street analyst laughed so hard, they choked on their lattes. Then Elon actually did it. He hit every target. The stock exploded, and the pay package became worth $135 billion, and then a guy who owned literally 9 shares of Tesla sued him in Delaware, claiming the board was too nice to Elon. And a local judge said, "Yup, compensation canceled, you worked 6 years for free, bro." Elon, I grew the company by $600 billion. Judge, don't care, didn't ask. Plus, you're weird. Pay package revoked. It took until late 2025 for the Delaware Supreme Court to finally step in, throw out the ruling, give Elon his options back, and hand the guy who sued a single $1 bill. Literally, $1. Imagine suing the richest man on earth, spending 2 years in court, and walking out with enough money to buy half a pack of Skittles. And right after that, Tesla shareholders voted on his new pay package target for the next decade: grow Tesla to an $8.5 trillion market cap. To put that in perspective, $8.5 trillion is more than the total economic value of Japan and Germany combined. If he hits that, he could probably just buy Germany and rename it X-Land. Now, most billionaires buy a sports team, sit in a VIP box, and eat overpriced nachos. Elon Musk runs heavy manufacturing, which is basically a business model designed by Satan to convert sleep into panic attacks. During the Model 3 production ramp, Tesla was losing cash so fast, they were weeks away from total bankruptcy. Did Elon go to a tropical island? No, he slept on the Fremont factory floor. When the couch was too dirty, he slept under a desk. Imagine being worth $20 billion at the time, smelling like burnt rubber and stale Monster Energy, eating cold pizza at 3 a.m. while screaming at a robotic arm that keeps dropping a windshield. Why? Because in manufacturing, if the assembly line stops moving for 1 hour, you lose $10 million every single hour. And then in 2026, SpaceX did its massive public listing at a $2 trillion valuation, absorbing the balance balance sheets and debts from X and XAI, you'd think he'd take a nap, right? Wrong. Now he has SEC lockup periods, quarterly Wall Street analysts asking why a Starship rocket exploded over the ocean, and bond sales just to pay off the remaining $17 billion in debt left over from Twitter. He's worth $680 billion, and he still has to deal with bond yields like a mid-level accountant named Gary. And finally, we have his legal arch nemesis, government regulators. Normal CEOs have 30 PR managers who check every single letter of a tweet before it gets posted. Elon tweets on X at 2 a.m. while sitting on the toilet. In 2018, he posted, "I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured." The SEC immediately swooped in like a flock of hungry seagulls, sued him for securities fraud, fined him $20 million, fined Tesla another $20 million, and stripped him of his chairman title. That single tweet cost $40 million. That works out to roughly $600,000 per character. That is officially the most expensive shitpost in human history. On top of the SEC, SpaceX is constantly fighting the FAA because Starship rockets are so loud, they shake the earth. Picture this. You built a 400-foot tall steel skyscraper rocket designed to take humanity to Mars. You're ready to launch, and a bureaucrat in a beige suit steps out of a bush and goes, "Hold on, Elon. We need 6 months to study if the rocket's sound will give local beach lizards anxiety. You're trying to colonize Mars and your multi-billion-dollar spaceship is grounded because a government agency is worried about a lizard's emotional well-being." So let me summarize this madness before my brain short circuits. You're worth $680 billion, but you can't spend it without a bank margin call. You spend 6 years hitting impossible targets just for a guy with 9 shares to take away your $135 billion paycheck. You sleep under a desk at a factory because a robot arm broke. You absorb $17 billion of Twitter debt into a rocket company, and you get fined $40 million for posting a meme on the internet. Is it insane? Yes. Is it fun? Absolutely not. I'd rather eat glass. Anyway, that's the economic nightmare of Elon Musk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos, or else Elon is going to buy your house, rename it to X House, and force you to sleep under a desk. Until next time, I'm out of here.